6 Views Uncut special guest right here. Do you want to introduce the people to who you are?
What's going on, man? It's your man Ivan, aka Big Ives, aka I don't know. That's Ivan Evidente, man. I'm just out here, man.
Big up, man. Thank you for coming through. Really quick. Quick question. What are you doing here?
Listen, man. You know what? It's been a minute since I've been out in general, and you know when I was given the opportunity to come out and see some just talent that's happening. You know what? This showcase for block trade right now. I had to come out, man. So part of it was for me to just see what's going on in the city right now, and then just an opportunity to get back out and kind of just vibe with people and just again see people like yourself, man. So shout out to you and my man Friday, the whole squad.
Do you have any advice for any of the like younger artists that are coming up in this new generation of like lockdown music? Like, do you have any advice for them on what they should be doing?
Stay focused, man. Put in the fucking work, man. For real, you know what I mean? You gotta put in the work, man. You gotta stay focused. I think that we live in an era where things happen very quick. But I think also, if I can give any advice to people, is just understand and study the work that needs to be put into it. You gotta have the work ethic. You know what I mean? Like things are very quick, but at the same time, if you fail to prepare to fail, man. And when I say that, it's like you gotta really, really just put strategies together with all the type of music that you try to put out and just stay consistent, man. It's just what it is, man. Work ethic, man.
That's facts. So we had to make sure that we seen the rest of that Rochester interview because he just killed that shit.
Yeah,
so
shout
really
out
quick
Rochester.
too, like we got a lot of artists in the city, right? How do we get behind the scenes like you and like get a position in Universal and stuff like that? What would be some of the steps that a young gentleman or female should do?
I think really at the end of the day now, it's just really about doing your research. You know what I mean? I come from an era where we didn't sort of have social media, definitely.
Facts.
We didn't have, the internet was pretty new. Not to make myself sound like a freaking dinosaur, but at the same time, no, if you think about it, right, like in terms of just what was the resources available to look into stuff. But I think it really just, first of all, starts with passion. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Like if you're passionate about something, by whatever means it is, you're gonna do whatever it takes to find out how to learn about something. You will do the research.
Yeah.
But I think it really is that. It's about doing the research, and it's about just really networking. You know what I mean? And really, like when I mean that, and it's really, really out there researching what part of the industry that it is that you feel that you want to look into, or the field that you want to get into. And it's about finding out the people who are in those positions, or maybe reading about stories about other people, how they got into those positions, and kind of just trying to, I guess, really at the end of the day, figure it out for yourself. But it does take actually showing up, doing the research, going back to what I was talking about, work ethic in anything, whether you're an artist or you want to be an executive. It's like, fuck, man. It's like nothing is for free is what I've learned. You know what I mean? And it's like ultimately now where we live in a generation where information is at your disposal. I think it really just comes down to a person, he or she, really taking that time to do all the necessary digging into what it is that they're trying to get into and making those connections happen.
True. And last question I got for you, because earlier this year I said the Toronto wave, it felt like to me like it was dying.
Right.
Like it just didn't have that same energy.
Right.
How do you right now in the summertime, how's your look at the Toronto hip hop scene right now? What do you think of it?
Well, I think honestly, I think that our scene in general has always thrived. I don't in terms of there being a scene, let's call it, regardless of whether that scene gets outside of Canada is another question.
Facts.
Right? If I'm just keeping it fucking
1,000%.
But there's always going to be people putting out music, I find, right? And if you look specifically at the hip hop scene, hip hop has now become a global thing. So,
yes.
For all the people that are trying to, enter this genre, just if I could give any advice, is just think outside of just the city itself. Think of it on a global scale. Understand the importance of really on how big of an impact, in terms of what you're trying to make globally. You know what I mean? And the steps that you need to take in order to get seen and get heard. And I can guarantee you this: it takes a lot of work.
Facts.
It is not. I mean, I think even those that we see certain things that happen overnight, I think there's a lot of planning and a lot of strategy involved in all that. And I think that you get yourself the right team around you that sort of understands. Or even if it's a team that's just learning about the business, but just at least taking the time to research of the steps that are needed in order to plan out properly and to strategize, because ultimately, it really starts with a plan, in my opinion. And something just locally in the city is one thing, but when you want to look at what success could really look like, I think you have to think about it on a global scale, in my personal opinion.
Man. And the research, you're heavy on that research word.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta do that.
You just gotta fucking do the work. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, straight up. Like, you know what I mean?
Stop being lazy.
Stop being lazy, man. And it's like, regardless. And even when you start getting to those levels of where things start to happen, like, even when you're going on tour and you're doing tours, like, there's a lot of work and planning involved in tours, even. You know what I mean? And you get that opportunity to see the world, and you see other parts, other countries that probably you've never imagined you never be set foot on. But just understand that, like, there's even just a lot of just planning on that. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But anyways, like, I am very, very hard on that, you know, in terms of, like, you know, work ethic.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Yo, Ivan, thank you for coming through, man, and having this conversation with me. We're going to bring you to the studio, and we're going to get back on that artist conversation.
Thank you very much. Absolutely, man. I just want to shout you guys out. Listen, I think what you guys do right now is extremely important.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, and I feel like it is, you guys are a voice for the city and the country, and I think it's because of guys like in the work that you guys do, you know, in terms of just, you know, you guys are really helping grow the scene for us on a global scale, like I said. So
thank you, man. Appreciate that. That's big coming for you.
No,
anytime, man. Anytime.
Man.
You the homie, so you can come through whenever, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Ivan, Guttzy, 6 Views Uncut. We out. Peace.
Peace.